Okay, let's talk about this. This is pretty interesting and it comes up quite often. And that is in regards to the supply. And one of the most perplexing behaviors of narcissists is their tendency to replace a former partner or supply with someone who seems like a significant downgrade. And this can leave the old supply confused, questioning their worth, and wondering why the narcissist would choose someone who appears to be less attractive, less successful, or even less intelligent. However, this decision is not always based on conventional logic, right? It's rooted in the psychology of narcissistic supply, control, and self preservation. This is what a lot of you don't necessarily understand initially because you're thinking from a normal person's viewpoint. Quantity over quality is the narcissist motto. Remember that first and foremost before anything. Quantity over quality. Narcissists thrive on external validation, also known as what you know it is narcissistic supply. They seek constant attention and admiration and emotional reactions from others. However, they do not value supply based on intrinsic qualities like intelligence or beauty, right? They don't value that. They don't value that you have a degree. They don't value that you keep yourself up to part, dressed to the nines or whatnot. You're clean. You're clean. All these. They don't value that. That's not. You have to understand those things from the root base of understanding them and why they do what they do. That may be valuable to someone who is sane and on the same level that you are mentally. But for the narcissist, it is all about survival, right? Instead, they prioritize availability, compliance, and how well that person fulfills their needs, right? For control. Totally different. When you're available for a narcissist all the time, when you drop everything you're doing and ready at their begging whim, their begging call, you increase your value to a narcissist. You become more valuable. When you comply with what they want and what they need, no questions asked, preferably, you are more valuable. Doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter how many degrees you have. These are the things that are most important and will be put at the top of the list for a narcissist. A downgrade might offer easier access to supply for them, which is going to ensure a steady stream of attention without much effort. That's also important to them. The new supply may be more willing to tolerate manipulation and abuse, making them more of a suitable, comfortable target to deal with for the narcissist. They might lack self-awareness, making it easier to control than a former, more independent partner. Right? So these are just a few things. The next thing is really control and manipulation. The primary goal of a narcissist in a relationship is to control. If you, being the previous supply, became too independent, too self-aware, or even resistant to manipulation, They may choose a new supply who is more submissive than you. A person with lower self esteem is less likely to question a narcissist's behavior and more likely to accept their toxic traits. Okay? For them, it's all about making it easier for them. Someone willing to put up with more of because they know their behavior, they know what they're doing to you. They just need a suitable person who's willing to put up with it. Because they're not going to change and they don't want to change. They don't feel like they should change. So if the old supply sets boundaries, the narcissist may seek someone who lacks firm boundaries and is easier to manipulate. Because the new supply is going to idolize them blindly and give them the worship they crave without resistance. That's how you can see a lot of toxic narcissist traits and people who really garner attention and will solicit to get attention from people. Even, you may see it on Instagram, people constantly posting, showing their bodies in certain ways. That's narcissistic behavior because it's in a way it's being idolized, worshipped, right? For their beauty, their body. Those are more so somatic narcissists that are doing that. And they don't care about who's following them as long as they're giving them that attention, as long as they are affirming what they feel about themselves already. The next thing too is that the punishment and devaluation of the old supply, right? Narcissists are highly vindictive, especially when they feel rejected, exposed, or abandoned. Choosing a new supply who appears to be a downgrade can serve as a psychological weapon against the old supply. I've always said this, right? They have ways of doing things, right? And they may want you to see, deliberately want you to see them downgrade to a lower grade of supply after they've left you, right? Or after you've left them. What it does is it sends a message that you were never special to them. You were never what you thought you were, right? The narcissist wants to make the former old supply feel easily replaceable and very much so insignificant, because that will linger. It lingers with a lot of you now because it shatters that self-image that you have based on what achievements you may have gotten and earned or whatnot. It shatters that and it makes you feel like, well, dang, how could all of the stuff you did for them, everything you tried to be for them in the right way, they go and get with some, and this is no kick to anybody, or being rude or anything, but they'll go and get something way less desirable at a lower social status or whatnot, right? Someone who's much less affluent than you may have been. It's an act of revenge, as the narcissist wants to trigger feelings of self-doubt and insecurity within you, being the old supply. The downgrade can be, paraded around publicly, to create the illusion that the narcissist has moved on and happy, and they're happy now, further hurting the old supply. Because the old supply sees the downgrade and they start to think like, wow, you mean I was going all out, extending myself, doing the most to try to make them happy, to try to keep them satisfied, and they go and downgrade and get with someone who is not anywhere near doing what you were doing? Total slap in the face and strike to the ego. Another thing, the illusion of the superiority. Narcissists need to feel superior in all aspects of life, including their relationships, right? Which are nothing more than transactions. A partner who is too accomplished or very attractive or too independent or independent in general, it threatens their fragile ego. That's a threat to them. Narcissists don't value attractiveness in the same way. They like it if it complements their image, especially in public. If it gives them the social status of being the person who can have the nicest things, right? Yes, they like it in that regard. But if it's not doing that for them, meaning if every time they step out, you're getting most of the attention, you're having more of the people talk and, speak to you, then they're going to resent that. They're not going to like that. They're going to start hating the fact that you are attractive. And that goes in other things, being smart. If you're, person that's called upon and stuff a lot because of your intelligence, they will start to resent that. Because it's not based on them. No one's coming to them, it's coming to you. That becomes a problem for them. So, by choosing someone that they perceive as a downgrade, they can maintain the illusion of being the superior partner. If the narcissist's new supply is less attractive or accomplished, the narcissist feels less competition for attention, right? So many of you, and this is just being cold hard facts, based on what your attraction level is, some of you, they came to you because you wouldn't be a threat to the look wise in the attraction area. Some of you, they came to you because they wanted that social status quo to have someone attractive on their arms as a trophy. Some of you, it was about your intelligence. You're very intelligent. They like that, right? But it becomes a problem if that intelligence is starting to interfere with the way that they manipulate and want to control you. Some of you very independent. You got a lot of stuff going on for yourself. But it becomes a problem if that independence starts taking away too much from what their desires and needs are that they want you to fulfill. You get the drift? You see where I'm going with this? How it works out? From a normal person may admire those things, and that can create a power couple type of dynamic. Right? The narcissist can take on a rescuer or savior role, right? Boosting their ego, appearing to elevate the new partner, right? They can mold and shape the new supply into whatever they desire, further reinforcing their godlike complex. Okay. The cycle will repeat. It's important to remember that narcissists are never truly satisfied with any type of supply for long. Just as they devalued you, they will eventually devalue the new one. The new supply will go through the same cycle of idealization, devaluation, and discard. The narcissist will eventually seek a replacement, continuing the pattern indefinitely. The former old supply, once heartbroken, often finds peace and healing, while the narcissist remains stuck in their toxic cycle. This is just what happens, folks. And it hurts initially to think that someone, that you thought was really trying to get to know you, understand you, and that they, cared for you or whatnot. It was all a sham. It was all a sham. Just to conclude, when a narcissist moves on to someone who appears to be a downgrade, it's not a reflection of who you were or what your worth was. It's a reflection of the narcissist's need for control, easy validation, and emotional manipulation. Understanding this pattern helps break the emotional hold they may have, that may have left behind with you, right? Instead of questioning your value, the best response is to recognize the narcissist's behavior for what it really is: a desperate attempt to maintain power over others. That's all it is. That's what you see when they do this, when they go to these lower, they're not, it's not, they don't like being alone, right? So something's better than nothing, but they rather get something easy that they can have, that they know they can have a longer period of control and influence over. That's security for them. Someone who's very attractive, independent, and smart, those people rarely last very long with narcissists. The more of those qualities that you have, they hang on to it because of what it makes, the image that it gives them when they're out. They like that. But those are the hardest to maintain for them. You may last 1 year, if that. The more attractive you are with the narcissist, the less likely, not just attraction, but it's attraction, it's independence, it's having a strong will, it's being very intelligent. If you have all of those things, you probably won't make a year. It won't even go a year unless you're forcing it. Unless you're just one of those forcing it, not willing to give up. But the more of those qualities and traits that you are with the narcissist, the less it's too hard to keep you. Because everything they're doing, you know you're attractive. You get compliments and stuff all the time. So it's harder to make you believe that you're something that they want you to be, and you know better, because you're going to constantly have different validations that speaks on the contrary to what they're trying to make you believe. It's just the way it goes, folks, how it is. right? So they prey on people with lower self-esteem, people who self-doubt themselves a lot, right? Because there can be different instances and mixes. You can have an attractive person, but they have a lot of self-doubt, and their self-esteem isn't really high, right? They're very insecure, but they're attractive. That works for a narcissist too, because that's a gateway for them to play on those things, right? Those things that that person is stricken by being insecure and whatnot. They can play on that, and they can captivate and hold that person in because they found an angle. Oh, I know that you're insecure and you don't have much self-esteem, but you're attractive. Okay, I will constantly press that issue and do things to affirm that yeah, you are those things that you're insecure about and that you have low self-esteem about. And they can manage to keep that person locked in for a longer period of time. It's all, deep manipulation with them at the end of the day. So that's just a little bit dropping some insight on that. If this helped you out in any way, if you received anything that was helpful or beneficial, consider to like, consider to share, subscribe. Any consultations, if you're interested, just click the link in the description, and my email is there. Shoot me an email and I'll get you information on how to go about doing that. Till next time, have a good one.